In the classic fairy tale, the beautiful princess marries her prince and the two ride off in a carriage to live happily ever after. For American girl Meghan Markle, her life changed overnight when she married the British Prince Harry, and in her wedding speech she described it as a modern fairy tale. But unlike Snow White and Sleeping Beauty, who were fresh-faced teenagers when they met their Prince Charming, Meghan had been married before. Ingrid Seward, one of the most prominent and respected writers on the British royal family, discussed the nuptials in her book, My Mother and I. The royal biographer wrote, "The Queen never voiced her true opinions except to her close confidants, such as Lady Elizabeth Anson, or Liza as she was known to her friends. She told me that the Queen had made only one remark about Meghan and Harry's wedding, and that was that Meghan's Givenchy wedding gown was too white. Those two words embraced everything she felt about the dramas in the run-up to the marriage and the Disneyesque spectacle of the day itself, according to the royal expert. In the monarch's view, it was not appropriate for a divorcee getting remarried in church to look quite so flamboyantly virginal. Meghan had previously been married to Hollywood film producer Trevor Engelson between 2011 and 2013. Queen Camilla, who had previously been married to Andrew Parker Bowles between 1973 and 1995, stuck with tradition and opted not to wear white for the blessing for her wedding to Charles in 2005. Instead, she wore a pale blue chiffon dress and coat with gold embroidery. Fashion designer Claire Waight Keller, then of Givenchy, who worked alongside Meghan on the £100,000 dress, said she wanted to create a timeless piece but also convey modernity. She said, "In contrast, the delicate floral beauty of the veil was a vision Meghan and I shared, a special gesture embracing the Commonwealth flora, ascending the circumference of the silk tulle." Recalling the dress for Windsor Castle exhibition on the wedding, Meghan said, "I had a very clear vision of what I wanted for the day and what I wanted the dress to look like." So what was amazing in working with Claire Waight Keller is that sometimes you'll find designers try to push you in a different direction. But she just completely respected what I wanted to see for the day, and she wanted to bring that to life for me. Prince Philip would also allegedly go on to make comparisons between Meghan and Wallis Simpson, the American divorcee whom Edward VIII abdicated to marry. Seward claims he was one of the few wary of being charmed by Meghan and thought it was uncanny how much she reminded him of the socialite Simpson. He even had a nickname for her, Dow, after Simpson, the Duchess of Windsor. Although twice divorced, Simpson did not opt to wear white when she married Edward in 1937, instead choosing pale blue. Katie Nicholl, in her book The New Royals, also reported a similar concern from the late Queen after she was told by a source that the decision to wear white had left her surprised. She wrote, "Perhaps it's a generational thing, but she believes if you've been married before, you wear off white on your wedding day, which is what the Duchess of Cornwall did." On the day of the wedding, staunch royal observers noticed the Queen's face looked stern as she looked across at Meghan in her wedding dress. Unlike the Disney films and fairy tales which inspired them, the Sussexes' story did not end at happy ever after. The Duke and Duchess had a strained relationship with the firm, eventually deciding to move to the US in 2020 and later attacking the family in their tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey the following year. The Queen was reportedly saddened at their choice, allegedly confiding to a close friend that she was exhausted by the turmoil of it all. The source told Nickel, "The Queen was very hurt and told me, 'I don't know, I don't care, and I don't want to think about it anymore.'" Seward wrote of the situation, "At that point the Queen decided there was no longer any point in worrying about Harry as he wasn't going to take notice of anyone but his wife." However much she loved Harry, and she did, she couldn't condone the way he was speaking about the institution of the monarchy she'd spent 70 years preserving. The Queen's funeral was the last time Meghan touched British soil, and that was a notoriously awkward affair. The couple's high-profile security battle and Harry's emotionally charged interview with the BBC have further strengthened the rift between them and the royal family.